I'm Aaron Baker from PhoneDog.com, and a new tablet is in the office. It's the Samsung Galaxy Note 8.0, and it's available right now for $399 in a Wi-Fi version. It's white, it's not as big as the 10.1, and it's got some great specs like a 1.6 gigahertz quad-core Exynos processor and a 4,600 milliamp hour battery. Is it the tablet to get? Let's find out in the full review of the Galaxy Note 8.0. It's the Samsung Galaxy Note 8.0, and if you like tablets and you like the Note functionality from the smartphones, then this is going to be a great device, or I should say most likely going to be a great device for you. This thing retails for $399. This is the Wi-Fi only version of the tablet, and it brings to the table some great specifications all around, including a 1.6 gigahertz quad-core Exynos CPU, an 8-inch display, 800 by 1280 pixels, 189 ppi. You've got a 5 megapixel camera on the back. Front-facing camera as well, 4,600 milliamp hour non-removable battery, and Android 4.1, also known as Jelly Bean, with TouchWiz pre-installed on this device. So if you like the 10.1, thought it was a little bit too big, or maybe you got locked into a contract, didn't get your Note 2, but you still want that Note functionality, it's going to be a good device for you in a lot of different ways. One for me at least, I'm not a huge tablet person in all honesty. Love the way that this fits for the most part in one hand. I mean, I would never carry this around as a phone, which actually the international version has phone capabilities, but what I do like about it is that I can fit it in one hand. It's not like the Note 10.1 where I feel like I'm having to work with two different hands at all times. So it's got the S Pen, and you can see overall design very similar to what we've seen before from Samsung. You've got your infrared port, your volume rocker, power button up top, 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, and then over here micro SD card slot. Down at the bottom, you've got your speakers and your micro USB charging port. Over here, physical button for home, and like any other Galaxy Note device, or Galaxy S4, or Galaxy S3 for that matter, press and hold, and it activates recent applications, Google Now, and then of course deleting as well. And from here you can delete your recent applications, but look and feel very similar to what you would expect from a Note device, very similar to the Note 2, to even the Galaxy S3, and the overall look and feel between TouchWiz, Android 4.1, and the overall package you get from Samsung. Now, before we get too far into it, I want to give special thanks to our partners at Best Buy Mobile for giving us devices like this that we give to you on the site through our Instant Win game. When you walk into Best Buy Mobile, you'll deal with unbiased reps, whether it's Verizon, AT&T, Sprint, or T-Mobile that you need. They're going to get you hooked up and ready to go thanks to Best Buy Mobile. Love me some unbiased, and that's going to be happening at Best Buy Mobile. So let's take a look at this device again. Out of the box, it is a Wi-Fi only device, so you're not going to see any carrier installed applications. First thing, you're going to see the S Pen here, and comparing this to the Galaxy Note 2's S Pen, for example, there's a size difference. You can see obviously it's bigger, it's been rounded a little bit differently at the end, and here for comparison purposes is the Note 2 S Pen. Now, one improvement I like that they've made on the Note 8.0 from the Note 2, and even to based on my usage from the Note 10.1, it feels just a little bit better typing on a regular basis. I feel like the screen has kind of a coating on it. It's either the screen or the pen itself, but it's easier to type on all around. I jump into a note, for example, and this is great for content creation. Good morning, Phone Dog. Great for content creation, great for taking notes in meetings or if you're in a class, and you can, like other Galaxy Note devices, you can bring over copy and pastes into the notes to really make this device your own and really kind of do some custom stuff with it. For example, just showing you this one, bam, I can bring it down to S Note, and then once I open up S Note and open up a new note, it will auto paste it down into that application. So we'll go into Note, and you can see there it is right there. Go ahead and make it a little bit smaller, and then I can get rid of the text around it or the area around it and say, hey there, and have some fun with it. Now, I can send that via text message. I can send that via a wealth of other applications as well. So I really like that functionality. Otherwise, pretty similar, like I said, to what you would expect from a TouchWiz-based device that's running Android 4.1. There are some minor improvements, though. For example, come up here and take a look with me, and you can see, actually, I'll back out and start from the beginning. You can see your shortcuts up here at the top. You're used to these. A little bit of a different color scheme, but overall very used to this all around. So we'll jump over here, get out of Wi-Fi for a second, jump into sound, and you can see all of your different applications that are taking advantage of that 8-inch display. Obviously, you have two columns here, and you see that throughout most of the device thanks to the larger display. Kind of like what you would see on the Note 2 in landscape mode and a lot of different applications you see in almost every application over here. So I can go to display, for example, and it's got a lot of the great features that their devices have, their smartphones have. Home screen mode is a great one. Perhaps somebody's new to the tablet space, new to Android, and you want to get them set up and kind of get started with it for a couple of weeks before you unleash them on the world of Android. The great thing about that, you can jump over here to easy mode, and it creates some easy widgets for them, customizes the home screens, shortens it a little bit so you've got 3 home screens, a lot easier to manage. I believe it is 3 actually. If I go into easy mode, let's take a look and see what it looks like. Actually, no, I'm sorry, it is 5 home screens. But you've got some great shortcuts here out of the box. So you can put this up on easy mode, give it to your grandma, give it to somebody that's new to tablets, and they've got quick shortcuts to all of their most likely favorite applications. And of course, you can add applications either before you hand it to them, or they can do it themselves once they get a little bit more familiar. You can obviously see that it's shortened the applications down here that you could still, or should be able to still, take that back, that's a widget. Let's just do group play, for example. Yeah, you can still add, even in easy mode, stuff to that area down by the app drawer. So we can go back to home screen here and go to basic mode. We're going to throw it back on basic mode because we know Android. We're Android wizards, right? Right. And we'll go back down here to settings and take a look at some of the other stuff. Battery, obviously, you got your physical battery percentage indicator, which you know that I love on Samsung's TouchWiz enabled devices, but otherwise pretty similar, pretty stock Android setup here with the S Pen functionality. I can change a couple of things, the attach and detach sound, quick command settings, AirView as well, and that's what you're seeing right here, the AirView stuff, where when I press and hold, I'm actually not touching the display, but it's showing me language and input, and if I have a video sample, I'll show you exactly where it comes in really handy all around. Let's see, video player. And yes, I do have one. So I'm not even touching the display, and you can see it's giving me a preview of the video. You can see it's playing, oh, Shazam. And then of course, I can click it if I want to and go right into that. Another feature a lot of people like, this one, where the video can play and I can move it around. Saw this on the Galaxy S3. Move it around while I'm working on the actual device itself. A really nice touch there as well. These things kind of seem maybe gimmicky to some people. I find that once you get used to these, it's kind of hard to find a device without it, or kind of hard to work with a device without it. You get used to stuff like this. I'm not big on the video one, but I use quite a few of these little software value adds on a regular basis. And then when you're done, I can go right back in, or I can just cancel it out from the area. Now, the Galaxy Note 8.0 brings something new as well called Watch On, and this is something to compete with HTC's solution. Watch On is basically a built-in TV guide, for lack of a better phrase. Network is unavailable right now, temporarily be limited. It's not letting me click OK. Don't know why. Let's see here. Network is currently unavailable. Having some Wi-Fi issues in the office right now, and they don't know why, but we go back into Watch On here and see if it'll let me. Yeah, there we go. So it brings up, and I just wanted to show you kind of the template here. It brings up now and coming up, and then of course up here I can search. I can go to my remote, and it does have an IR port, so I can use this as a remote. But what this is good for, let's say you have AT&T Uverse at home, for example. Let's say you like YouTube as well. Well, you can search for all of that stuff, and it kind of aggregates that search together. So instead of saying, you know what, I want to watch air disasters, I'm going to see if it's on my TV. It's not on my TV. I'm going to go to YouTube, see if it's on YouTube. Well, it's not on YouTube. I'm going to go to this other solution. I'm going to go to this one, this one, this one. It's intending to bring all of those searches into one application where it'll say, hey, you want to watch air disasters? It's available on Smithsonian Channel on your TV. It's available on YouTube. It's available through Samsung's application here. It's available, and you can click on each one and then program either your TV or watch it directly on your tablet. Really a nice feature all around on the Galaxy Note 8.0. So it's something that, it's one of those things you wouldn't think you'd use, and it's kind of funny to me that they're going back to TVs after all these years of tablets and kind of taking one step forward and one step back, at least with TVs. But I find that to be particularly useful, and at least, as I said in my snapshot review, I feel like Samsung's finally bringing together all of their houses, if you will, between electronics, between telecommunications, between TVs, between, at some point, we're going to have a tablet that runs your TV, your washing machine that's made by Samsung, your refrigerator, all of that different stuff. And you're going to have a Samsung customized solution. I think they're finally bringing together all of their different applications and all of their different company or structures, if you will, into one. Of course, Gmail here, columns, pretty self-explanatory. Stay tuned for part 2. We're going to talk about keyboards, internet browsing, overall speed, and more. You're going to want to stick around for the Note 8.0 full video review.